Well, good afternoon, folks. Here I am again. I talked with Atos Zifrot this week, and he told me that he had conferred with, I got it written down here, with, excuse me a minute, with Belshie, and they agreed that the coming on of Halloween here on Earth is somewhat questionable about whether or not they're going to have to be able to hold things steady, whether the humans are going to get out of control or not on this particular day. They have in the past gotten out of control, and so they're not sure about that. But anyway, they're kind of looking after it. Belshie was more concerned than Atos was, but they're going to get to the bottom of it, I think. Today, I want to talk a little bit more about MB. If I can get up in this chair and not fall out of it. And MB, as you recall, is this magnificent little block right here that was crafted by children who maybe needed a little help from folks. Speaking of needing a little help, children that need a little help, like the ones that even carved this one, you can see it's all smoothed over now because we made it so it was marketable, but it was pretty good when they came out of there. They need help, and one of the ways to help these kids, as you might have run across, is through auctions. There's lots of people with some $2 bills and $5 bills in their pockets. Not too many $2 bills anymore, but they're willing to kind of push some of that out, and maybe two with several zeros behind it. Push that out and help these kids get on their way into adulthood and help them to learn ways of their world and to be safe. That's a big one these days, being safe. The MB itself is something that you can use to help handle your anxiety. Something you gotta be very careful about here is that you see this hole right there? You gotta be very careful about looking in that hole. Because if you look in that hole, you might see something that you didn't expect. You might see another world. And you got to just keep your bearings, because you might just get sucked right into it. And it'd be very tough to get back out of it. But it'll keep the anxiety away. So, get your MB and have it help you with things like, being upset, by being overwrought about stuff, about being mad at your spouse, or being mad at somebody that's going to be your spouse, and which, incidentally, you never go to sleep being mad. That's right, you've heard that before. Well, that's a good thing to do. But you got to be very careful with it, because it's a very powerful thing. And you know where all that power comes from? It comes from you. And you're the one that gives it the power to be the magnificent helper that it is. Now, let's see, there's a little book that goes with it. We're going to revise this book on the way too. But the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the thing that is paramount, the most important thing in gaining good mental health, and that is relaxation. Now, if somebody says to you, oh, just relax, everything will be cool, what do? You don't know how to relax, for heaven's sake. There are very few people that know how to really relax. That's a special thing where you drift off into alpha, and that's maybe something I'll explain later. But most of the time you're just walking around in beta brain waves. You know, if they put something on your head, you get beta brain waves because you're just busy about doing everything and managing everything. You got to relax and just let yourself get to alpha. And when you get to alpha, real alpha, then you're getting into a real relaxed state. Now, that's just not my idea. A guy by the name of Herbert Benson came up with a relaxation response some years ago, and now he's even talking about the relaxation revolution. So he had to write another book. You know, when people need more money, they write more books. Well, this is probably what's going on, but it's a valuable book because it tells how to measure yourself when you do get relaxed. So I would recommend that to you for checking on yourself. And if you're relaxing, if you're able to get into alpha. The other thing that can happen if you're in alpha and you're deeply relaxed, it's more like a dream state, except it's not a dream state. It's that's where you can visualize, not just imagine something, where you deeply visualize something in your mind, and it's something that you see in detail, clearly, and that's when you're deeply relaxed, and that's when you can make things happen. And then another time I'll tell you how to make those things happen. Anyway, for now, practice on your relaxation, but don't do it while you're driving. That would be not very good idea, because you would maybe run into things, and you wouldn't want to do that. So, do it when you're comfortable in a chair or in bed or something like that, where you're safe and you're absolutely can be relaxed without having to worry about anything else. And if the kids yell or something, you'll wake up. There's no problem. But you just practice it. You practice it. And I'll tell you how to do that every day, many times a day. And it works. It really works. So let's see. What else are we going to talk about today that you would like to find out about? Let's see. We got... there's also a disc. It's called an RSI disc. It's relaxation, suggestion, and imagination. And I don't know, there may be other RSIs in the world with those initials, but this is relaxation, suggestion, and imagination. And it's a disc that people have used to listen to during having their teeth worked on and to help them put to sleep. And some grandmothers have used it to help them go to sleep at night. A friend of mine's grandmother has used it almost every night to help her go to sleep. Anyway, I'll be talking about that one too, and what it contains and how you can get it. But let me remind you about this here, this thing. Remember, it's off balance a little bit. And we're all off balance just a little bit. And you gotta be careful about what you see in that hole. You gotta be very careful. You're gonna see some things that you might not really want to see, but be very careful that you don't get drawn into it and can't get back out. Well, that never happens. But anyway, you'll see some really wonderful stuff in there. And so I would recommend that to you. So I guess that's it for today, and I will see you next time.
Awesome, Dad. So now next time we'll go ahead and tell them where they can get the MV.
Okay.